I parked behind the church and sat there longer than I should. Straightened up my collar like a man who's doing good. But my hands were shaking harder than the July heat outside. 'Cause today you take his last name and I pretend I'm fine. I walked in with flowers, trying not to fall apart. Watching you walk down that aisle in the life I never knew. Yeah, I stood there like a hero, but only 'cause you asked me to. I gave you all the grace I had and the smile I wore for you. Your mama hugged me tightly like I still belong somehow. Your daddy slapped my shoulder, said he's glad I made it out. The vows were soft and perfect, but they thundered in my chest. Each word another echo of the things I never said. And when you touched his fingers, I felt my future fall apart. Still I cheered like I meant it, though it cut me clean in two. Watching you start forever in a world that I once drew. Yeah, I stood there like a soldier, holding steady for your view. I gave you all the grace I had and the smile I wore for you. In the parking lot I crumbled where no one else could see. Let the tears hit that old asphalt like they'd waited years for me. Sometimes love don't end in fire, sometimes it ends in quiet truth. And the hardest kind of leaving is the one that feels like truth. I drove off past the steeple with the windows halfway down. Let the wind take what it wanted from the hurt I didn't sound. Maybe someday I'll forget this, maybe time will pull me through. But a part of me stayed standing in that church beside you. Yeah, I cheered like I meant it, though it broke me straight in two. You found the life you wanted, and I hope it all comes true. And if loving you was losing, I still swear I'd choose the view. 'Cause you deserve the best of me and the smile I wore for you. So here's to every memory and every dream we never knew. I loved you without asking, and that's the part I'll keep. Lying barefoot in the grass, you traced your name into my palm like a promise meant to last. We learned love by guessing, stumbling forward in the dark. Two kids just trying to understand the wildfire in their hearts. Time moves on, but some things don't. There are memories that don't let go. 'Cause you were the way forever started for forever started. I saw you last December at the church on Maple Hill. Your smile still had that softness, like the world could just stand still. We talked about our families, how our lives had rearranged, but the way my heart remembered you, yeah, that part never changed. Funny how the past can breed when you're standing where you used to be. 'Cause you were the way forever started for me. The first spark, first kiss, first truth I'd ever believe. And every love that came after carried pieces of your life. Even though we grew apart, you're still with me in some nights. Yeah, I've lived and loved and parted, but you were the way forever started. Maybe that's the beauty of a first love. It don't have to last or stay. It just shapes a man you turn into in quiet older ways. And if I could whisper to those kids we were, I'd tell them not to run. Some hearts don't fade, they settle like the colors of a setting sun. Now I'm learning how to love someone without ghosts in every kiss, letting go of all the almost while still treasuring what we missed. But there's a corner of my memory where your laughter's evergreen, a reminder of the boy I was and the man I've tried to be. Yeah, you were the way forever started for me. The first spark, first kiss, first truth I'd ever believe. And though we never made it, you still taught me how to try. You're the reason love feels sacred. When I look someone in the eye, I won't forget where my heart charted. 'Cause you were the way forever started. So here's to first loves, not forgotten, just softly guarded. 'Cause some stories never end in the doorway. They just grow quiet when we started. Your eyes were full of questions, mine were full of foolish pride. I thought love meant staying quiet, thought strength meant holding still, but all you needed was a reason, and I never found the will. Now every night I wonder why I let you walk away. 'Cause you're the one I should have fought for, the one I should have held, the one I should have run to when the silence felt like hell. I let the moment crumble, let my fear ring out like bells, and now all I've got are echoes of the words I never yelled. Yeah, you're the one I should have fought for, but I just let you slip myself. I replay that morning sunrise like a movie in my mind. You paused there on the gravel road, just waiting for a sign. Your heartbreak hung between us like a storm about to break, but I stood there dumb and frozen, too afraid of my mistakes. If love is built on courage, mine showed up far too late. 'Cause you're the one I should have fought for, the one I should have held, the one I should have chased down when you whispered wish you'd tell. the day I let you fall. I heard you found somebody now who gives you what you need, who looks you in the eyes and says the things I couldn't speak. I'm glad you found your sunshine, but the truth still stings at night. 'Cause I'd trade 1,000 heartbeats for one more chance to fight. You're the one I should have fought for, the one I should have held, the one I should have sworn to love in every rise and every swell. Instead I let the moment drown, and now I live to tell how silence was the hammer that drove my own farewell. Yeah, you're the one I should have fought for, but I failed you and myself. If regret could build a bridge, I'd walk it straight to you. Some roads stay unfinished, telling friends I lack the freedom, though I miss the life I led. Heartbreak builds its little walls, brick by brick and fear by fear. Then you walked in soft and steady like spring, whispering I'm here. And my guard rose like a reflex, but you never pushed it down. 'Cause you love me brighter than I remember love could ever shine. You touch the places I've been hiding, say the hurting's not a crime. I keep waiting for the shadows, but you turn them into light. Yeah, I'm learning how to trust again, one truth at a time. And it scares me to surrender, but you love me brighter than I remember. You don't ask about the pieces of the man I used to be. You just hold them like they matter, like there's something you can see. And I fight the urge to question when your kindness feels too real. Guess pain can teach a stubborn heart to second guess a good deal. But you show up every sunrise like you're choosing me again. And you love me brighter than I remember love could ever shine. You touch the places I've been hiding, say the hurting's not a crime. I keep waiting for the shadows, but you turn them into light. Yeah, I'm learning how to trust again, one truth at a time. And it scares me to surrender, but you love me brighter than I remember. I'm done measuring new moments by the ghosts of what went wrong. I'm done believing heartbreak's verdict is a life lived all alone. If the past taught me survival, then you're teaching me to stay, to breathe, to lean, to open up, to love without the sway. So take my tired history and this slow returning flame. I'm giving you the fragile parts, the ones I never thought I'd claim. And maybe loving after heartache means we walk before we run, but I'd rather take it careful and go back to being numb. Yeah, you love me brighter than I remember love could ever shine. And I'm done waiting for the shadows when you keep proving they're benign. And I'm still learning how to trust again, but you're patient with the climb, and your warmth feels like a promise that my brighter than I remember. So here I am, wide open, letting daylight have its say. Turns out healing isn't sudden, but you're lighting up.
Full of plans and late night dreams, two hearts facing down the distance, like it wasn't what it seemed. But airport gates get colder when the calls get few and far, and love can feel like losing when it's lived inside a car. I held on to your voice through every midnight rain, but echoes can't replace the warmth of holding on to things. Yeah, the miles that made us come undone still pull me in sometimes. I wonder if we'd make it now without the space between our lives. 'Cause we never stopped loving, we just ran out of strength to run. Broken not by heartbreak, but by miles that made us come undone. You said you felt me drifting, I said you were changing too. The truth is we were both just tired of fighting what we knew. The messages turned shorter, the silences turned long, and somewhere in the emptiness we let go of something strong. Funny how a quiet phone can be the loudest sound, when all you want is someone who ain't 3 states out of town. Yeah, the miles that made us come undone still pull me in sometimes. I wonder if we'd make it now without the space between our lives. 'Cause we never stopped loving, we just ran out of strength to run. Broken not by heartbreak, but by miles that made us come undone. Maybe in another lifetime we'd wake up side by side, coffee on the counter, no goodbyes to memorize. Maybe love could breathe again if distance lost the fight, if home was just a doorway, not 1,000 miles a night. I heard you move back closer, just an hour down the line, and something in my heartbeat said the past ain't fully died. But I don't know where you stand now, or if you'd even care to see the man I've grown into, the one who wishes he was there. Yeah, the miles that made us come undone feel shorter than they were, and part of me still wonders if your heart still stirs for her. We never stopped loving, we just tired out the sun, fading slow and softer by the miles that made us come undone. So if our roads cross again someday and the distance finally runs, maybe we'll rewrite the ending of the miles that made us come undone. Just another Tuesday road, didn't plan on seeing you there, standing in aisle 1. Your hair was tucked behind your ear, the same way I recall, and my heart did that old stumble like it never moved on at all. I tried to play it easy, but my voice gave me away. Funny how one moment can rewind an entire day, 'cause you hit me like a memory I thought I'd outgrown, standing by the
freezer case like you never had gone. I wondered if you're happy now, wondered if you knew how every buried feeling came crashing right through. A simple grocery trip turned into something true. Just me, a carton of milk, and a flash of you. We talked about the weather, working how your brother's fine. I nodded like I meant it, but my thoughts were far from mine. You laughed at something small, damn, it cut me deep. All those nights I spent forgetting woke up from their sleep. Did you feel that pull too, or was it just my past spinning circles in the quiet, hoping something might last? 'Cause you hit me like a memory I thought I'd outgrown, standing by the freezer case like you never had gone. I wondered if you're happy now, wondered if you knew how every buried feeling came crashing right through. A simple grocery trip turned into something true. Just me, a carton of milk, and a flash of you. Maybe life don't give reruns, maybe that's the honest part. Sometimes you get a moment, not a brand new start. But as I watched you walk out, sunlight catching your hair, I realized I'm stronger now, even if I still care. I paid for what I came for and stepped outside the door. Thought about what we once were and what we ain't no more. And somewhere in that stillness, I let a little go, just enough to breathe again, just enough to grow. Yeah, you hit me like a memory I once called my own, standing by the freezer case like time had been overthrown. I hope you're truly happy now, hope you always knew that part of me will smile when life brings me back to you. A simple grocery trip gave me a clearer view. Just me, a carton of milk, and a flash of you. Drove home past all the places where our younger hearts once flew, and whispered to the quiet, yeah, I'm gonna be okay without you. Laughing at some story I told, sunset painted your face in colors I'll never outgrow. We were always just best friends, at least that's what we claimed. But every glance held something warmer, every touch a quiet flame. You dated a few dreamers, I chased what wouldn't stay. But somehow we kept coming back to talk the night away. I swear I almost told you more times than I can count. It's the love we never said out loud, hiding underneath the jokes and the crowds, pretending we were fine while our hearts walked the same line. I was scared to lose what I couldn't live without, so I kept my feelings underground. kind of truth we never said out loud. I remember your birthday, that old diner off Highway 9. You hugged me just a little longer, like you wished the stars would give a sign. Your eyes held a question, I felt it burn down to the bone. But fear can be a prison, and silence builds its own unknown. You left with someone gentle, I tried to cheer you on, but my chest ached quietly every time you said his name too long. And still I never told you what my heart was fighting for. It's the love we never said out loud, hiding underneath the jokes and the crowds, pretending we were fine while our hearts walked the same line. I was scared to lose what I couldn't live without, so I kept my feelings underground. Yeah, ours is the kind of truth we never said out loud. If courage had come easy, maybe we'd have found our place. Maybe I'd be kissing you instead of memorizing your face. But some roads stay untraveled, 'cause we're afraid of what they cost. And sometimes silence hurts you more than anything you lost. Last week you sat beside me, saying you and him were through. Your voice cracked when you whispered, I don't know what to do. I swallowed years of longing, wiped the tear that hit your cheek, and for the first time in forever, I let my trembling heart speak. I said I've always loved you, and you didn't pull away. You just laid your head against me like you'd been waiting for that day. It's the love we never said out loud, finally breaking through the fear and the doubt. Turns out we were fine, walking hearts along that line. All that time we worried we might lose what we'd found, but the truth just brought us closer now. Yeah, ours was the kind of truth we never said out loud. Maybe we were slow, but we got here somehow. You're smiling in my arms.
Felt the same. Waited in that sundress, holding all our plans in place, while I drowned in my own weakness, put the truth to open disgrace. It's crazy how one moment can redraw an entire life, how one wrong choice can carve you deeper than a knife. 'Cause the night I broke, the only thing that loved me is the night that keeps on living. In the corners of my mind, I replay the steps I didn't take, the line I crossed too blindly. If I could turn back time, I'd leave my pride behind. But the past don't grant a mercy plea. From the night I broke, the only thing that loved me. Your daddy boxed my pictures, left them on the old church pew. And word around this small town said you cried the whole night through. I told myself excuses, but they never eased the cost of watching something perfect turn to something I had lost. I still drive past where you lived, slow down near drive, haunted by the version of us that should have stayed alive. 'Cause the night I broke, the only thing that loved me is the night that keeps on living. In the corners of Tonight I'm sitting on my tailgate, staring at the fault I made. The sky don't answer questions, but it listens when I pray. And though I know I can't undo it, can't rewrite our history, I finally learned the weight of love and what it meant to me. Yeah, the night I broke, the only thing that loved me still circles like a ghost around the man I'm trying to be. I can't reclaim the promise lost, but I can face it honestly. If second chances ever find you, I hope they set you free. And maybe someday you'll remember me. Beyond the night I broke, the only thing that loved me. So here's to every wrong turn that teaches who we are meant to be. And to the girl I lost forever.
I stood there with the memories of the nights you let me down. Every promise cracked and hollow still hangs heavy in this town. But the truth is that my heartbeat never learned to let you go. So here we are, trying again, with all the bruises we ignore. Hope and time can't stitch the wounds we never treated from before. Yeah, forgiveness feels like walking barefoot over glassy floors, but I still want you, maybe more. Love walks back through the door. You talk softer than you used to, like you're scared to break the air. And I'm trying not to flinch now when your hand says you still care. We're rebuilding something fragile, one small moment at a time. And I pray the past don't echo when your fingers reach for mine. 'Cause the fear of being shattered fights the hope of something true. But here we are, trying again, with all the bruises we ignore. Hope and time can't stitch the wounds we never treated from before. Yeah, forgiveness feels like walking barefoot over glassy floors, but I still want you, maybe more. When love walks back through the door, maybe courage isn't fearless, maybe courage is the ache of believing in a future that the past tried hard to break. If we hold on to each other, even shaken, even scared, maybe love can write a new page where the old one tore and bared. So stay with me on nights when doubt comes rising like a tide, and I'll stay with you on mornings when regret is hard to hide. We can't change the broken history, but we choose the chapter next. And I'd rather risk the heartbreak than keep living with what's left. Yeah, here we are, trying again, and I'm not turning you away. If forgiveness is a journey, then I'll walk with you each day. 'Cause the past may leave its shadows, but the heart still wants to soar. And I want you deeper than before, when love walks back through the door. So close it gently behind you, leave your old mistakes outside. If we're brave enough to hope they were tired from all the hurt, trying to believe what I'd say.
I watched you trace the cracks in us like a map of where I went wrong. Every quiet dinner, every half-meant smile had been breaking for too long. I never thought a moment's weakness could echo through our years. Now I'm learning how betrayal sounds when it whispers in your tears. I know trust don't grow back easy, but I'm here for every inch of the climb. 'Cause I'm stitching what I tore apart, threading guilt with my hopeful heart. You're giving me one more chance to prove I'm a better man. You're scared I'll leave another scar, and I'm scared you'll walk before we restart. But love ain't for the faint of heart, so I'm stitching what I tore apart. Sometimes you wake up distant, like you're walking through a dream, where the version of me you loved ain't the one you've been forced to see. I reach for your hand gently, not wanting to push too fast. You say you're trying to forgive me, but forgiveness ain't made to last. In the kitchen you ask questions, you already know the truth. It ain't about the answers now, it's about who I'm becoming for you. And I won't hide from the damage, I'll face the mess I made line by line. 'Cause I'm stitching what I tore apart, threading guilt with my hopeful heart. You're giving me one more chance to prove I'm a better man. You're scared I'll leave another scar, and I'm scared you'll walk before we restart. But love ain't for the faint of heart, so I'm stitching what I tore apart. I can't erase it, can't undo it, can't pretend it never bled. But I can show you every sunrise that I choose you instead. If redemption's slow and fragile, then I'll move at your pace. 'Cause seeing trust return in you is the miracle I chase. Tonight you leaned against me, not close but closer than before. And that tiny shift of weight felt like hope walking back through our door. You whispered, don't make me regret this, soft as a trembling prayer. I said I'll spend my life proving the man you need is right here. And when your head found my shoulder, I knew we'd begun again. Not perfect, not forgotten, but two hearts trying to mend. So I'm stitching what I tore apart, piece by piece, heart to wounded heart. Thank you for one more chance to stand up as a better man. You're scared I'll leave another scar, and I'm scared of the dark without where you are. But love's worth fighting past the start, so I'm stitching what I tore apart. If it takes forever, I'll be here, proving every day you're my truth. 'Cause the hardest thing I've ever done is earn my way back to you. I still see your taillights fading past the courthouse on Main Street. We were shouting more than talking, pride was running on repeat. You slammed the truck door angry, I stood there thinking I was right. But silence hit harder than the words we threw that night. Now every sunset paints the truth that I couldn't face, that we walked away too early from something we should have changed. 'Cause the door we never really closed keeps creaking in my mind. Your shadow lingers in the corners I pretend I've left behind. I wonder if you miss me, or if you finally let go, or if you're waiting on a knock from someone you still know. Yeah, the heartbreak feels unfinished everywhere I go, standing at the door we never really closed. Your jacket's in my closet, your toothbrush still by the sink. Guess I wasn't ready to erase you, more attached than I could think. Your perfume's in the hallway, your laugh still haunts these walls. And every time my phone lights up, I pray it's you who calls. I replay that night so often, wish I'd taken just one breath to tell you I was angry, 'cause I feared losing you to death. 'Cause the door we never really closed keeps creaking in my mind. Your shadow lingers in the corners I pretend I've left behind. I wonder if you miss me, or if you finally let go, or if you're waiting on a knock from someone you still know. Yeah, the heartbreak feels unfinished everywhere I go, standing at the door we never really closed. Maybe love ain't meant to vanish in a heartbeat, in a fight. Maybe we just need a distance to remember what felt right. And if you're sitting there at midnight feeling lonely like I do, I hope you know I dropped this pride just to run back home to you. Tonight I'm standing on your doorstep, breathing in the autumn air, with flowers in my trembling hands, praying you're still in there. Your porch light flickers softly, and then the lock begins to turn, and suddenly the lesson hits, the kind that only heartbreak learns. Yeah, the door we never really closed opens, slowly, warm and kind. Your eyes say you've been thinking all the things that filled my mind. You whisper that you miss me more than I could ever know, and all the pieces fall together right there in the glow. No, some love don't end forever, some love just needs to grow. Through the door we never really closed. So here's to second chances, to the truth that finally shows, and two hearts walking forward through the door we never really closed.
I still drive past your old mailbox, paint chipping like our last goodbye. Saw your mama hanging laundry, asked me how I've been getting by. Truth is, this small town sunset still looks empty without you here. Every gravel road remembers what I buried in those years. I thought time would mend what I let slip away, but your shadow walks with me every day. You're the ghost in the front porch light, I keep leaving on the whisper in the screen door slam. When the night gets long, I reach for someone else, but it never feels right. 'Cause you're the love I lost before I learned how to fight. Yeah, you're the one that time won't ever rewrite. Still burning like a ghost in the front porch light. county fair, you smile like an August breeze. We talked about our lives now, but my heart dropped to its knees. You laughed about something harmless, but I swear it pulled me back to your hand in mine at 17, before I let the seams go slack. I told myself I'd moved on, but honey, that ain't true. 'Cause every quiet moment leads me straight to you. You're the ghost in the front porch light. I keep leaving on the whisper in the screen door slam. When the night gets long, I reach for someone else, but it never feels right. 'Cause you're the love I lost before I learned how to fight. Yeah, you're the one that time won't ever rewrite. Still burning like a ghost in the front porch light. Maybe we were meant to happen. Maybe we were meant to fade. Some hearts hold on forever to the choices they never made. Mine still standing in your driveway, gathering dust, trying to forgive that boy who didn't know how to trust. Now the house feels warmer somehow, though it's only me inside. I've made peace with the echo of you walking down these steps at night. Guess love don't always circle back. Sometimes it just becomes a song, a soft reminder in the silence that I've learned how to move on. But you're the ghost in the front porch light I once kept on, a memory in the screen door slam when the nights felt long. I'll reach for someone new and maybe I'll get it right. 'Cause losing you taught me how to stand and how to fight. Yeah, you're a chapter that time can't fully rewrite. Still glowing like a ghost in the front porch light. So here's to what we had and the man it helped me become. In this small town life, some stories end but still live on. And if I ever see you again, I'll smile at how we tried as your ghost fades gentle over all our memories from my front porch. Ink was shaky with the weight of every truth you couldn't give. I read it twice, then once again, though every line cut like a blade. Funny how the deepest heartbreak is the one you never trade. 'Cause holding on to anger only kept me chained to you. So I'm reaching for the grace I never knew I had inside. Letting go don't mean forgetting, it just means I'll survive. Yeah, the unforgivable still echoes, but it won't be my guide. I'm choosing peace instead of pride, with the grace I never knew I had. The nights were long and quiet, filled with questions and regret. I built walls high as mountains just to try and not forget. But hiding only hardened what was left of who I was before. And I realized healing can't start till you choose to want it more. So I loosened every memory till the weight began to slip. Now I'm reaching for the grace I never knew I had inside. Letting go don't mean forgiving, what you did as justified. Yeah, the unforgivable still echoes, but it won't be my guide. I'm choosing peace instead of pride, with the grace I never knew I had. It truth I'm keeping. I can honor what was real, even if the scars you left me are the proof I had to heal. And maybe in the distance there's a life I'll build anew, where forgiveness isn't for you, it's the thing I give myself to. Yeah, I'm reaching for the grace I never knew I had inside. Letting go don't mean forgetting, it just means I'll survive. And though the unforgivable still whispers it won't steer my life, I'm choosing peace instead of pride, with a grace I never knew I had. So I fold your letter softly, set it down and walk away.
You leaned against the door.
Feeling's not about
You tried your best to smile, but I'd never seen your eyes say more. Dreams were calling from the west, and I swore I had to chase, but I felt something breaking as I drove out of that place. And the rear view held your shadow longer than the road ahead, 'cause the highway took more than I knew when it carried me from you. Yeah, it gave me miles of freedom, but it cost a love that once felt true. Now the nights are loud with quiet, the stars don't shine like they used to. I left home to find my future, but the highway took more than I knew. Motels feel the same now, buzzing lights and paper keys. Crowds all know my name, but no one knows the rest of me. I thought distance made a hero out of every sacrifice, but your memory right shotgun, cutting deeper than the ice. And the silence in the drive-thru says more than I meant to lose. Yeah, the highway took more than I knew when it carried me from you. Gave me open skies and chances, but it robbed the life we almost grew. Every mile I get further only turns your ghost into the truth. I left home to chase a dream, but the highway took more than I knew. Maybe dreams ain't dreams at all if they leave your heart behind. Maybe all this road was meant for was to teach me what was mine. I'd turn this truck around tonight if it fixed what slipped away. But some choices burn their bridges before you know the price you'll pay. So I'll keep on moving forward with the weight I chose to hold. Your goodbye haunts the wind like a story never told. If the road brings me redemption, I'll take whatever it gives, but I'll never shake the memory of the love I didn't live. Yeah, the highway took more than I knew when it carried me from you. Left me richer in the spotlight, but poorer in the places that felt true. And I'd trade this rolling future just to stand one day with you. I left home to find my meaning, but the highway took more than I knew. And I still hear your soft whisper when the night turns quiet and blue.
highway meets the pines. You were laughing with your sister, sunlight catching in your eyes. It felt easy, felt like fate, like the universe said try. But life don't always listen when two hearts align in time. And I knew from the beginning there were roads you couldn't take. 'Cause you're the love I have to leave behind. Though every part of me wants to fight the miles and reasons that won't ever set us free. Yeah, the longing's real, but life ain't built on wishes we designed. So I'm loving you in silence. You're the love I have to leave behind. We stayed talking past the closing, traded stories, traded plans. You had dreams across an ocean, mine were rooted in this land. And we both tried to ignore it, that our futures pulled apart. But truth has a quiet way of laying heavy on the heart. So we held on to the moment like it's all we'd ever get. 'Cause you're the love I have to leave behind. Though every part of me wants to fight the miles and reasons that won't ever set us free. Yeah, the longing's real, but life ain't built on wishes we designed. So I'm loving you in silence. You're the love I have to leave behind. Maybe in another lifetime we'd be walking side by side. No borders, no beginnings, where we're forced to say goodbye. But in this world we're borrowed chapters meant to meet and then let go. Some hearts don't break, they just overflow. So I'll carry what you gave me, all the warmth without the ache. And I'll hope your greatest moments are the ones you get to make, with someone who can hold you without counting down the days, while I learn to let you go in softer, quieter ways. Yeah, you're the love I have to leave behind. Though every part of me still wants to bend the rules of distance, bend the shape of destiny. But loving you means knowing when the world won't realign. So I'm letting go with gratitude. You're the love I have to leave behind. And if our paths cross someday, I'll smile and won't pretend. Some loves aren't meant forever. We were standing in the kitchen, they're meant to never talking end. Circles round the truth. Same old hurt in different words, neither one of us could move. You were staring at the floorboards, I was staring at the past, both wondering how a love this strong could fall apart so fast. The walls we built for safety turned into walls we couldn't climb, and it felt like we were losing something worth a lifetime. But you brushed a tear away and said, maybe breaking's just the start of getting whole again. That's when the broken started blooming, when two hearts tired of losing chose to meet in the middle of the mess we made. Not running, not hiding, but learning to stay. Your love ain't easy, but it's worth pursuing. Even when the truth cuts deeper than the wounds did, we found a way back through the ruins. When the broken started blooming, we took long walks in silence, 'cause the words were hard to trust. But Slowly you reached for my hand like you still believed in us. We talked about forgiveness like it was new and fragile ground, about how leaving isn't healing and how staying turns things around. Some nights we fell to pieces, some nights we fit like we once did. Rebuilding felt like learning how to love without the script. And every time we almost quit, you'd whisper, let's hold on, there's still something here to fix. That's when the broken started blooming, when two hearts tired of losing chose to meet in the middle of the mess we made. Not running, not hiding, but learning to stay. Your love ain't easy, but it's worth pursuing. Even when the truth cuts deeper than the wounds did, we found a way back through the ruins. When the broken started blooming, it wasn't magic, wasn't quick, wasn't some movie scene. It was choosing each other on the days neither one of us felt seen. It was patience, it was honesty, it was grace when we fell short. It was realizing real love is something you fight for. Now I wake up every morning with your heartbeat on my chest, and I think about the nights we almost let go of our best. But here we are with something stronger than we ever had before. Two rebuilt hearts that love so loud it echoes through the floor. Yeah, we didn't find perfection, but we found a deeper truth, that falling apart don't mean the end. Sometimes it's how love roots, 'cause that's when the broken started blooming. When two hearts tired of losing chose to meet in the middle of the mess we made. Not running, not hiding, but learning to stay. Your love ain't easy, but it's worth pursuing. And now the life we're living proves it. We found a way back through the ruins. When the broken started blooming, when the broken started blooming. Hand in hand we keep on choosing. Dogs and names, dreams stretched out before us like a map with open plains. Then the phone rang on a Tuesday, and life changed in a breath. Your mother needed someone, mine was fighting off the thread of death. We tried to keep our promise, but the days got heavy fast, and love got lost between the moments. We were praying life would last. We weren't breaking up on purpose, but the world had other plans. When the world stood in the way, we held on as long as we could. But storms don't care about timing, and real life ain't always good. We loved each other fiercely, but love wasn't understood by the pain that kept on knocking, and the weight no one else would. Yeah, we never meant to fade, but the world stood in the way. I'd leave work early Fridays just to sit with you a while. You'd smile through all the heartache, but I could see the fragile in your smile. Your brother needed guidance, my dad needed help to stand. We were patching up our families with our own unsteady hands, and in the quiet of the evenings we'd admit it hurt like hell. Not losing love by choice, but losing time we couldn't sell. Some stories don't have villains, just a fight nobody wins. When the world
looked peaceful, finally fine. Your eyes held something softer, like the sun had started shining. We talked about our families, how they made it through the storm. And even though my chest still tightened, I felt proud you'd found your warm. We didn't speak of second chances, didn't need to name the age. Some loves don't need a future to be real or not to break. When the world stood in the way, we did everything we could, and I'll treasure every heartbeat where we loved the best we could. 'Cause sometimes love is whole even when it's misunderstood by the trials that keep on coming and the life we never would. Yeah, we never meant to fade, but the world stood in the way. If destiny keeps score, we love more than we lost. Some stories end in silence,
Never close enough.
passing glances in the quiet felt a lot like falling in love.
You'd call me after midnight just to say you couldn't sleep, and I'd lie there in the dark room living in a halfway dream. Every word you whispered pulled me deeper into you, but we almost counted, almost made it more than talk. We almost held on tight enough to finally take that walk. Yeah, we danced around the meaning till the moment just got lost. Guess we loved in crooked circles, afraid to pay the cost, and now we're just a memory of the love we almost caught. Your laughter in the front seat made the world feel soft and right. We planned futures just for fun, pretending we weren't terrified. I knew I should have told you that you felt like home to me, but fear can be a match strike, burning down what might have been. So we kept it in the shadows, calling it just us two. Yeah, we almost counted, almost made it more than talk. We almost held on tight enough to finally take that walk. We built castles out of daydreams, but the walls were made of chalk. Guess we loved in quiet corners, never brave enough to cross. Now we're just a memory of the love we almost caught. Funny how the heart can break for something that never had a name, but I'd be lying saying it was nothing. I still think of you the same. Maybe someday we'll look back and smile at who we were, two souls too scared of thunder to hear what lightning stirred. I saw your picture yesterday, you were laughing with your friends, and I wondered if you look at me and think of what we never said. We were almost something perfect, almost brave enough to try. Now I carry all our almost like a shadow by my side. Yeah, we almost counted, almost made it more than talk, almost reached across the silence just to see what we had caught. If timing is a teacher, then I guess we learned a lot. We loved softly, loved in echoes, loved enough to leave a mark, and now we're just a memory of the love we almost got. still steady in the quiet, for a love that passed in time. We've been living like two strangers, same roof but different rooms, talking only about the schedules, bills and all our worn out gloom. Then one slow Sunday morning, coffee dripping, sunlight warm, you brushed the hair behind your ear, and my heart changed its form. It hit me like a whisper from the man I used to be. How lucky I still was to have you standing next to me. 'Cause when your laughter found me again, it cracked the walls we built, pulled the love from underneath the weight of worry, dust, and guilt. A spark we thought was buried rose steady from within. Yeah, I fell for you all over when your laughter found me again. We took a drive past the river, where we carved our names in stone, and you teased me about my haircut like the early days we'd known. I saw your smile turn fearless, like the girl I chased at 22. And in the quiet of your eyes, I found my way back into you. Maybe time don't kill the fire, it just dims when we forget. But one soft moment brings it back with no room for regret. 'Cause when your laughter found me again, it cracked the walls we built, pulled the love from underneath the weight of worry, dust, and guilt. A spark we thought was buried rose steady from within. Yeah, I fell for you all over when your laughter found me again. Baby, I won't let the silence take the place of what we've grown. I'll fight for every sunrise where you say I feel like home. Sometimes love just needs a reason, sometimes love just needs a sign, and sometimes it just needs a moment to remember it's still mine. Now tonight you're dancing barefoot in the kitchen on that tile, and I swear the world stands still each time you turn to me and smile. We ain't perfect, but we're trying, hand in hand through thick and thin. And I'm grateful life slowed down enough to let us start again. Yeah, when your laughter found me again, it brought us back to truth, showed me there's 1,000 lifetimes left for me to love in you. A light we thought was faded started shining bright again, and I'll keep falling, darling, every time your laughter finds me again. So here's to every quiet moment that reminds us where we've been, and to falling back in love with you again and again. Again and again. Leaning on the Ferris wheel, laughing with your sister like the years left no trail. Your eyes caught mine, and suddenly I was 12 again, chasing you through summer fields, pretending we were more than friends. Funny how a single moment brings the past up to the light. Like all the roads we wandered still led us back tonight. 'Cause where the fireflies remember us, our hearts still flicker true. All the innocence we started with comes shining right on through. The world got loud and heavy, but something soft pulled us back to where the fireflies remember us.
We walked down to the ball field where we carved our names in pine. You teased me about that crooked heart I drew beside your outline. You told me life's been twisted, good days mixed with hard ones too. And I said every crooked mile somehow pointed back to you. It felt like time was listening, slowing down so we could see that growing up don't change the way your smile still steadies me. 'Cause where the fireflies remember us, our hearts still flicker true. All the innocence we started with comes shining right on through. The world got loud and heavy, but something soft pulled us back to where the fireflies remember us. Maybe love ain't something new, it's something buried, something found, like a song you almost lost beneath the noise of leaving town. And when two childhood hearts grow older, learn what life can break, they finally see the simple things were never small mistakes. Now we're sitting on your tailgate, watching sparks dance in the dark. Your head rests on my shoulder like it never left its mark. And in that quiet space between the crickets and the dust, I realize grown-up love still needs a little child in us. Yeah, where the fireflies remember us, we finally found what's true. That all along the best of life was waiting here with you. The world got loud and heavy, but tonight it's just the two of us, back where the fireflies remember us. So here's to lost and found beginnings and the magic in the dusk. Here's to you and me, in the place where the fireflies remember. I'd shrug and say I needed space, though I wish that you would stay. I was young and full of fences, scared of letting someone in. Didn't know that loving someone means you gotta risk the end. But time's a quiet teacher, and it humbles you with truth. Now you're the one I dream of when the nights get long and rough. And I hate that I got ready right when ready ain't enough. You gave me all your heart back then, but I didn't show you mine. And now I'm standing at your memory like I'm waiting in a line. Yeah, it hurts that you gave up right when my heart finally showed up. Saw you downtown last Sunday with a calm I never knew. Your laughter held a freedom I once kept you running from. It's true. You said you're doing better now, and I smiled like I agreed. But inside I felt the breaking of the man I've tried to be. Funny how the things you feared become the things you miss the most. Now you're the one I dream of when the nights get long and rough. And I hate that I got ready right when ready ain't enough. You gave me all your heart back then, but I didn't show you mine. Now I'm standing at your memory like I'm waiting in a line. Yeah, it hurts that you gave up right when my heart finally showed up. Yeah, I'd give anything to rewind to the boy I used to be. Telling love is worth the falling, worth the bruises on your knees.
Still I carry hope around me, like a postcard from the past. If ever you come knocking, girl, I swear I'll make it last. But if your road keeps moving forward and mine stays behind, I'll thank you for the lesson that rebuilt the man inside. 'Cause you're the one I dream of when the nights get long and rough, and maybe getting ready late just means life's teaching me enough. You gave me all your heart back then, and now I finally understand how loving someone fearless turns a boy into a man. Even if you don't wake up, I'll remember when my heart finally showed up. So here's to all the almost and the timing we can't change. Some hearts arrive too late, but the truth still knows yours. Your smile was softer this time, touched by storms you made it through. And I felt my heart remember every reckless thing we grew. We were young and wild back then, didn't know what love could cost. But somehow through the leaving, not everything got lost. 'Cause the way the years came back to us felt gentle, felt brand new. Two hearts that carried bruises found the strength to tell the truth. There's a tremble in the hope we hold, but I still lean into the trust. Yeah, time and finally caught us in the way the years came back to us. You said life had thrown you sideways, taught you when to bend and stay. I said I'd learn the hard things too, what to keep and walk away. And we laughed about our old fights, cried a little for the scars. Funny how the broken pieces lead you right back where you are. You looked at me with caution, but a spark I recognized, and I knew the fear was only love we'd never finalized. 'Cause the way the years came back to us felt gentle, felt brand new. Two hearts that carried bruises found the strength to tell the truth. There's a tremble in the hope we hold, but I still lean into the trust. Yeah, time and finally caught us in the way the years came back to us. Maybe second chances don't mean starting where we fell. Maybe they mean rebuilding with the pieces that still held. And if we take it slow this time, with the wisdom we've earned, maybe we'll find forever in the lessons we've learned. Now the night is falling quiet, and you're walking by my side. Feels like all the roads behind us let us hear with open eyes. I'm not who I was back then, and neither are you, it's true. But the best of who we could have been is finding its way through. Yeah, the way the years came back to us turned fear into something new. Two hearts once torn and scattered found their rhythm, found their truth. And with every step beside you, I feel the past fall into trust. 'Cause time and finally blessed us in the way the years came back to us. So here's to new beginnings, built on what we learned to be. If love gets better
right on time.
Packed my dreams in a suitcase, left you standing on the stair. Said I'd only be a moment gone. You whispered something about be fair. But I was chasing bigger stages, neon lights and things I'd planned. Never saw the way your heartbreak trembled quiet in your hand. Thought love would wait forever while I carved out my own name. But glory don't mean nothing when you're the one to blame. Now I've got trophies that don't hold you, and success that feels like dust. There's an emptiness behind the shine where I once kept your trust. Every dream I ever captured lost its color when you left, and the price of all this victory is living with regret. Yeah, I trade every mile I flew for the arms of the girl I never should have walked away from. Trophies that don't hold you. Your letter stopped in autumn, guess you finally let me go. I told myself I needed space, but it's your voice I miss the most. People cheer my name like thunder, but the sound just echoes thin. What good is every finish line when you're not waiting at the end? Funny how the crowds get quiet when the truth steps into view. All the wins I've piled together never feel the loss of you. Now I've got trophies that don't hold you, and success that feels like dust. There's an emptiness behind the shine where I once kept your trust. Every dream I ever captured lost its color when you left, and the price of all this victory is living with regret. Yeah, I trade every mile I flew for the arms of the girl I never should have walked away from. Trophies that don't hold you. If I showed up on your doorstep, would you even let me speak? Would you see the man I've grown into, not the fool I was last week? 'Cause love ain't meant to play the background while ambition takes the lead. And I've learned that all my shining things ain't what I really need. Tonight I'm sitting with my memories in a room that feels too wide. Your picture on the nightstand, still my compass, still my guide. If tomorrow gives me courage, maybe I'll come find you soon, and pray there's still a heartbeat left for someone like me and you. 'Cause these trophies that don't hold you remind me what I threw away. Every golden empty moment keeps on begging you to stay. I'd rewrite the whole damn story just to earn one more us. Let the world forget my name if it brought back your trust. Yeah, I'd trade every mile I flew for one more chance to love you like I never knew how to. Trophies that don't hold you. So here's my quiet promise, in the dark and in the truth. If love comes knocking one last time, this time I'm choosing you. Sitting on your tailgate, watching summer fade to gold, laughing about the same old stories we've been telling since we were 12 years old. You brushed your hair behind your ear like you've done 1,000 times, but somehow that tiny moment hit me different in my mind. Suddenly every memory lined up like a truth I'd never seen, and I realized you were the constant in every broken scared me how simple it felt, like my heart had known what my head never told. 'Cause that's the day the light turned on, and every just friends line felt wrong. I saw the love I'd been missing right there in your easy grinning. But now I'm standing at the edge of this leap, wondering if you see the same truth in me. Yeah, everything changed, though nothing had moved at all, the day the light turned on. I drove home replaying moments like a movie stuck on you. Your hand on my shoulder last spring, the way you showed up when I had no clue how to pick myself back up again. Yeah, you were always first to stay. I never asked why you'd never leave, but the answer's clear today. Every late night call, every inside joke, every tear you helped me hide, feels like the universe took its time to show me what was right. Now I'm caught between fear and faith, and a heart that won't go back to how it was before. 'Cause that's the day the light turned on, and every just friends line felt wrong. I saw the love I'd been missing right there in your easy grinning. But now I'm standing at the edge of this leap, wondering if you see the same truth in me. Yeah, everything changed, though nothing had moved at all, the day the light turned on. Maybe you felt it too, in the quiet parts between, where your smile stayed a little longer, where your voice got soft with me. If I lose you, I lose everything, but if I stay silent, I lose more. So I'm praying when I speak the words, they're ones your heart's been waiting for. Tonight I'm walking up your driveway, rehearsing what I'll say. My pulse is racing like a freight train, trying not to run away. You open the door and one look at you knocks the fear right out of my chest. I tell you I think I've loved you forever, and your smile answers the rest. You whisper took you long enough, and suddenly I can breathe. That slow burn truth finally found its place between you and me. Yeah, that was the day the light turned on, when every just friends line felt wrong. I saw the love I'd been missing right there in your easy grinning. And now I'm standing where I always should have been, your hand in mine, not afraid to begin. Funny how life shifts with just one honest dawn, the day the light turned on. Some loves shout, some loves take their time. Mine whispered your name until I finally heard it shine. On Main Street, boots dusty from foreign sand. You were waiting by the courthouse, twisting your ring with a shaky hand. Your smile tried to find me, but I ain't the boy you watched deploy. There's miles in my memory, shadow stitched into the soldier I became, not the small town boy. You hugged me like you used to, but I felt you searching my eyes, trying to read the stories I brought home, the ones I still disguise. I wanted to tell you everything, but the words were buried deep. 'Cause way back to you ain't paved, it's a road full of things I couldn't save. You kept the light on while I fought till dawn. Now I'm learning how to be brave in the quiet moments you gave. Yeah, love don't break, but sometimes it bends, till we learn each other again. I hear you moving softly down the hall when I wake from the night. You whisper you're home now, like a prayer holding me tight.
I see the letters you wrote me, worn edges from reading them through. Every word was a lifeline, reminding me the world still had you. But there's distance in the space between the things I can't explain. You hold my hand like you're hoping it'll pull me out of the pain. And I'm trying to meet you halfway, even when I feel far away. 'Cause the way back to you ain't paved. It's a road full of things I couldn't save. You kept the light on while I fought till dawn. Now I'm learning how to be brave. In the quiet moments you gave, yeah, love don't break, but sometimes it bends till we learn each other again. You touch my face like you're memorizing someone you used to know. And I take a breath and tell you I'm here, I'm trying, I'm slow. We stand there in the kitchen, just holding on for truth, realizing love ain't about who we were, it's about who we grow into. This morning you handed me coffee, said I missed you even now. And something in me opened like a gate I didn't know how. I told you about the fears I carried, the nights I thought of home, how your voice on the line kept me tethered when I felt alone. You cried but didn't tremble, just whispered we'll get through. And for the first time since returning, I felt close enough to you. 'Cause the way back to you ain't paved, but step by step we're both being changed. You kept the light on, and now the dark is gone. Yeah, you're the safe place I craved. Through every battle I